Hi guys, it's Valerie, the Pumpkin Patch Quilter again. I just wanted to add a little note on my last video, just a couple little things that after watching it I wish I had said or I didn't think about saying. These clips are not holding my fabric on, they're just holding the backing taut. That's all they're doing. If you are not familiar with the long arm, that might be confusing, so I wanted to clarify that. Also, one other reason I forgot to mention of why you want to send extra fabric to your long armor. Tension. Tension's a funny thing. A lot of people are really scared of tension. If you read my blog, you know I talk a lot about tension. I'm a little bit of a nutcase about getting good tension. The reason you want good tension on your fabric, your stitches will fall out. If you see that really loose, looping that you get on the top or the bottom when your tension is too tight or too loose, your stitches are going to fall out. And these heirlooms that you're spending all this time and money and care into making aren't going to last. They're not going to make it through the wash. I mean, even if you're making a utility quilt, it's not going to make it through the wash. So it is important to get good tension. With the long arm, it's a little bit more tricky. To me, so far, and as I said, I'm new, but so far it's very similar to your older vintage machines for me. I'm not afraid at all to adjust the bobbin tension on my older machines. They're all metal bobbin cases, and that's exactly how my long arm is. But I've also only used, thread so far that was recommended for use in my long arm. And you do need a certain kind of thread for to use in a long arm. It's a high-speed machine. It's not. It's going much faster than most home sewing machines. Anyhow, I'm going on and on. But my point is another reason to send all that extra fabric is it's really helpful to test your tension. In this little area to the side of my quilt top, what I'm going to do before I start quilting, because I've switched threads, I'm using a different thread, one that I haven't used yet, and I'm going to test. I'm going to take a little piece of scrap fabric and I'm going to put it here and I'm going to test it, and I'm going to look on the bottom, because right here is very easy. This area is very easy for me to look on the bottom. I have no cameras, I have no fancy things. I have an older long arm, so there's nothing fancy here. I got to do it the old-fashioned way and get on my hands and knees and look underneath the quilt. So I don't have to crawl underneath this thing. I'm just going to, test it right here and look underneath and make sure my tension is looking good on both sides. That's one more reason, just an extra reason to send a little bit of extra fabric to your long armor. You want to give them the tools they need to give you a good product, give you a good quality quilt, do a good job quilting it. So send them a little bit of extra. Also, your batting needs to be a little bit bigger too, and that gives you some space. Or if you're a new long arm quilter too, and you were wondering how do you test your tension without getting right into your quilt and then having to rip. Get a little piece of scrap fabric, put it here, test out your tension, do circles, because on sharp curves, that's where you're going to see your poor tension show up the most. Sometimes you'll stitch straight and it looks good, then you go to do a circle or a loop, and then you see some bad stitches. I don't know if I have any here. You might be able to see. I turned it over and I looked at the back. Let's see, yeah, I think you can see some you can see a few loose stitches. You can see what I did. I think my thread broke, but anyway, just another note. I didn't do a great job. Don't look at that closely. I didn't do a great job. That was my second quilt. Just another little note, a couple extra thoughts. If I think of anything else, I'll make a video or I'll post about it on my blog, but just some things to think about. So talk to you later. Bye.